All right, good morning, everyone. I wanted to do a update just based off of the last video I made and kind of getting an idea of how the candles have been working overnight. Right now, the candle is red, but this is what I meant by that. The candles would get smaller and not have that volatility of the bigger candles, and then we'd have that sideways movement, which is ideal for the next leg up. This is perfect for what we want, and it is certainly consolidating right around 15, which is what we were projecting over the last couple of days. So this is working out absolutely perfect. And this kind of shapes up to give you like an idea of where are the buy zones for the coin right now. And so if we're looking at for a kind of like a good, better, best option, so if the threshold right now is around 15, then hypothetically you're saying, okay, well, if that's the floor, if that's where we've been getting our rejections from, our bounce, if that's where we've been closing from, then that should be the buy area. And that'll kind of just be the good area. Better best is obviously going to be below that. And that's these periods in time. They're very small windows that you'll have, like the wicks of these candles here. They're very small windows where it'll dip below 15. And you'll see this whether that's on like Robinhood or even a Coinbase. You'll see you get like an alert and say, oh, it dipped 10% or 5%, something like that, and below 15, and it'll bounce back up. That is how people are technically setting their buy alerts around that. That's why it always bounces back up so quickly. So here at the levels we are now, around 15 cent, that's going to be a good level. Anything below that is going to be a better option. Best is going to be closer down here to the liquidity line, which is around 12 cent. We may get some long wicks like this, but it's unlikely now that the coin, now that the price action is slowing. We're seeing this across the board, even with Bitcoin. So all of these coins are getting liquidity and searching, building out their floor for the next leg up. So this is absolutely perfect here. Bitcoin's been doing this for a while, a lot longer than Doge, which is why I was really happy when we started to get that sideways movement, because I don't typically, if you're going to do like a Doge Bitcoin comparison and say that because of Bitcoin and the money that's going in there, having all that kind of good stuff, you don't want them to be at polar opposites where they are soaring, but Bitcoin has a floor and Dogecoin does not, because then that kind of creates issues when it comes to charting and the money flow allocation. So it's perfect that they're doing this at the same time. We see smaller volume coming into Bitcoin as well. And this is going to be and it's a good measure up as far as for going for measuring the next leg up. Another thing I wanted to point out when it comes down to projections and getting the zones for like the next leg up and those runs, that's not even if I do a video and say, okay, well, if we close at these numbers, that's the next range for the next leg up. That doesn't mean that's going to happen in the next 24 hours. That is expected price action when the run happens. So like when I called 6 cent Doge and $20,000 Bitcoin, that was 4 months before it happened. Now this is not going to happen. That was obviously a breakdown. Those were like my the extreme lows, but those are what the numbers say. The numbers say what the numbers say. You just can't put a price action. I can't say when 20 billion is going to come into the coin. That is, and for the most part, if when Doge goes up by 20 billion, we're talking about maybe a half a trillion coming into the market overall. We all know that's not retail money. Well, at least not all of it. Obviously that's going to be a big institutional push. So there's a lot of factors that kind of go into that. So just kind of keep that in mind when you are looking at the charts and trying to get an idea of the price action, because at that point you're trying to time the market, and that can get really tricky instead of investing for the fundamentals. Otherwise, you'll get caught like the shorts here. Shorts are threatening. I made a post earlier. Shorts are threatening a 6-month low. They are somewhat closing. I'll say below here, because technically anything below 200,000 is going to be like that 6-month low range. So they're right on the cusp of it. They were a little lower earlier, so I guess they are doing some back and forth and possibly taking some smaller positions, but the candle's still red now, and we'll see where this closes. But again, they're not confident that the coin is going to go down, so they're not making any entries. So it looks like we have called this right here around the 15 range for the consolidation point. We'll see how this plays out over the next few days. And as we get closer over here, if we go back down to this zone, then of course we still have the apex out here at the first week of April or so. So this is absolutely perfect. Hopefully this is a strong stair before we have our next ascension, because ideally what we'll want is to kind of have something even over here, maybe like second, third week of March. And then if that's the timing for the next leg up, we'll have that leg up here. But the stronger this floor is, the better. Like it's the least likely that you'll have the retracement down here. Because for those of you who aren't familiar, when you have a series of green candles like this, when you break through floors, you can have a series of red candles. So you want these floors here, and not just saying, oh, every week, every day, the coin is going to go to a new high, and it's just going to be green candle after green candle after green candle. That's how you set yourself up for failure. So just make sure you're thinking about that and incorporating that when you are looking to invest. And we will touch base a little later today as we get some answers as far as for where the liquidity is coming in today. I think Doge is, let me switch over to Coin Market Cap before I get out of here. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Doge is still number 9. Yeah, down 8%. Sheep's down 12. Bitcoin. It's recovered somewhat. It's down 0.5% now, a little over half. Ethereum's down 2%. Yeah, so Tron. So yeah, the big boys are certainly consolidating. I always found it very interesting because we have coins like Cardano and Doge jumped in briefly the other day. But we were I think we were like less than $500 million between them, even the day after that, which was crazy for the amount of volume coming in. But overall, you'll see the difference here, because you'll say, oh, these coins aren't consolidating as much, or they're still green. Look at the 7-day percentage difference, right? All these coins that are green, 0.05, 6.85, 8.41, 427, 0.02, 6.88, 6.92 now, and then you have Doge here at 19.07, and that's after an 8% correction here. So again, don't sweat it. And she is 133.29 after a 12.68% correction. And for those of you doing the Doge and Sheep comparison, this keep that in mind. Like there was a time when Doge was below a penny, and technically, even if you put the same, if Doge and Shiba Inu's dollar amounts were the exact same going into there, she would have a higher percentage just because of how low the value, or how many coins there are in circulation. So just gonna keep that in mind. And when you chart this, maybe I'll chart in an upcoming video. If you do a comparison, you'll see that there's a balance for both sides. So when you have the extreme growth, when you have the sell-offs, those are also extreme as well. Maybe I'll do a comparison, because I know there's a lot of questions out there. But if you look at the total circulating supply, this is why those percentages are the way they are. You got trillions and you got billions here. So it's just math as far as how that comes out. So that being said, we will check in later and look at those, take a look at those buy zones, see if they make any adjustments. But right now, 15 is great. And if you can catch one of those crashes below it, that'll be even better. So if you found value in this video, make sure you subscribe, like it, share it with a friend, and I will see you guys in the next update.